What is up, everyone? It's Elijah from Eli B's Movie Reviews, and I am back for my 1 month break. I took a 1 month break because of COVID-19 and everything else going on in the world. But with that out of the way for now, I decided that leading up to the upcoming film Tenet, I'm going to be reviewing all of Christopher Nolan's films. I already reviewed the Dark Knight trilogy, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. So those are going to be out of the those are already out of the way. If you guys want to see those reviews, they're already on my channel. You can check them out on my channel. But I'm going to be reviewing all others of the rest of Christopher Nolan's films. And I feel like this would be a great time for me to talk about Christopher Nolan's films because he's easily one of my all-time favorite directors. And to start with this series, I'm back talking about a movie that I wanted to talk about for a long time on my channel, Memento. Memento came out in 2000, and this is basically the film that started getting Christopher Nolan in shape in cinema. That made his career fly forward tremendously. Memento follows the story of a man named Leonard who suffers from short-term memory loss, and he has to try to find ways to fill in these gaps to track down the murderer of his wife. Memento is a phenomenally well-made film, and it's easy to say that, especially if you're a person who has a well-developed brain. When it comes to appreciating films in cinema, Memento is one of those films that made me appreciate cinema for what it is. I have a lot of respect and love for this movie. This is easily one of the most original movies I have ever seen in my entire life. Every shot that Nolan delivers in this film is absolutely keeps you on the edge of your seat. There's not a single shot in this film that's out of place. It keeps you hooked into the story. And the characters are absolutely well written, as always in Christopher Nolan's film. The character of Leonard is such a highly well developed character in this film, and Guy Pearce does an excellent performance in this film. And in my opinion, this is his best performance in his entire career, and I would not be surprised if you guys thought the same as well. This guy deserves the love. He absolutely is mind-blowing in this film. This entire film is mind-blowing. From the script, the direction, and the performances are a big thing on what makes Memento a masterpiece. Like, if the performances in this film lagged, this film probably wouldn't hold up as well as it does right now. But I mean it when I say it. Guy Pearce really does carry this entire film. And aside from Guy Pearce, Carrie-Anne Moss, Joe Pantoliano, and even Mark Bone Jr., all these actors do a phenomenal job. And to its core, Memento has everything that cinema fans and lovers would appreciate. And this film constantly asks the audience, how can we solve challenges while challenging ourselves? Leonard really has to dig deep on the case in this film to find out who killed his wife. And the fact that he has short-term memory loss and he can barely remember anything in one sitting, that makes it challenging and devastating for our main character. And you really do care about him. You want him to get to the bottom of this. You want him to find the killer. You want him to try to recall the events of what happened to his wife. It is fantastic filmmaking and one of the best I've ever seen in cinema. One of the things that I love about Christopher Nolan's films, and along with the other directors' films, is that Christopher Nolan never lets you out of the experience of any of his films. There's never a moment in his films where you feel like you're just out of it. You're just completely out of it. There's never a moment like that in any of Christopher Nolan's films. You absolutely get sucked into a completely different world. Memento is a perfect example of that. Because when I watch a film, I just don't want to feel like I'm watching a movie. I actually want to feel like I'm a part of the movie. I want to feel what characters are feeling. I want to get into the story and the script and even the direction. And that's the genius of Christopher Nolan. This man has never taken me out of any of his films. I always feel like I'm a part of the world that he creates in any of his films. The Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, The Prestige, Interstellar, and even this film. Yes, I should also mention the climax of Memento, because it is icing on the cake. I will not spoil it just in case any of you haven't seen Memento, which in case if you haven't, what the hell are you doing? Like, seriously, what the hell are you doing? This is a film that's been out for almost 2 decades now, and and I think every movie fan should see films like Memento at least once. Hell, I think every movie fan should see all of Christopher Nolan's movies at least once. And if you haven't seen Memento by now, what are you doing? Seriously, get to it. But the climax of the film is icing on the cake. And without spoiling anything, it really does make you think. Especially on first viewing. You want to know, you're very curious about Leonard, and if he actually got the right person. Did he get the killer? Did he not get the killer? And once you get on second viewing of the film, you can have a better open mind on what to expect. But the climax still gets me every time. Christopher Nolan is a master at throwing surprises at the audience with all of his films. Which is what makes audiences and film lovers always come back to his films. They're so memorable and so thoughtful too. And Memento is without a doubt one of his best films. And it's a masterpiece on all standards. Memento absolutely gets an A+. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. Look forward to my next review I will be doing of The Prestige. Can't wait to do that. Can't wait to talk about that movie. I have a lot to say about The Prestige. I want to try to upload that tonight along with an Inception review. I also can't wait to talk about that film too. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys for waiting for me too. I'm so glad that none of you guys went insane that I left. Thank you guys for waiting patiently, and thank you guys for understanding. This year's really been hard, but I tried to come back, and I did. I really did it, so I'm glad I'm back. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this review. You guys are the best. Love every single one of you. Look forward to more reviews that will be coming very soon. And as always, if you're new here and you like what you see here, why not hit that subscribe button to join EliB/520 community. And I will see you next time. Peace out.